Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be running through the Louis Vuitton bags in my collection that I would not recommend to purchase and which ones I would recommend to buy instead. And be sure to watch until the end of this video as I will be giving details on how to win my second giveaway. This is the Laneige Mini Lip Kit, and I will also be including this little DIY mini makeup kit that includes one of those clear Ziploc pouches that everybody asks me about. So if you would like to participate, be sure again to watch until the end of this video. So if we haven't met, my name is Jo, and I'm a lover of all luxury bags and beauty. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and be sure to click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So if you have watched my channel, you will know, as I said, I am a lover of all luxury bags, but particularly Louis Vuitton, and I have a lot of Louis Vuitton items in my collection. Now, I have shared many in-depth reviews on many of the pieces shown here, but as time has gone, I have gotten to be able to use more of these more frequently, and some of my opinions may have changed on some of these pieces as time has passed. So my plan in this video is to talk about which of these items I would not recommend, and also provide you with a different Louis Vuitton alternative that I think would be the better buy. Now, this first one might surprise you, but the first Louis Vuitton bag I would not recommend is the Nano Speedy. Now, I do have a good number of the Louis Vuitton Nano bags in my collection. A few of them I actually have sold or let go at this point, but I've tried a good number of them. This one was my first ever Nano in my collection. Technically, this one is the Speedy Mini HL, so this is the vintage version of today's Nano Speedy. That said, I believe they are the same size given when you look at the monogram pattern on today's Speedy versus this one, they're structured exactly the same. So I do think that they are the same dimensions. Now, don't get me wrong, the Speedy Nano is an absolutely adorable bag, and I do like how it does feel very proportionate when I wear it as a crossbody bag, and again, the cuteness factor is there. But one of the major drawbacks I have of this bag is even though it can fit a lot, you are greatly hindered by the fact that the zipper opening is pretty small. So for example, on the Gucci Affidia bag, the zipper wraps around on the side. So does the Speedy 20. Their zipper also wraps around the side. So you can open the bag a lot farther. But on the Nano, they have kept it ending right here on either side of the bag. So if you have, let's say, a cell phone, this is the 14 Pro, you can get it in the bag, but you really have to finagle it to get it in there. Whereas, it's not going to be something you want to do all of the time, where you can get a lot in the bag because it is pretty wide. It just is hard to get things in and out. And the more you have in there, the harder it gets. So the bag I would recommend instead is a newer Nano version to the Louis Vuitton line, and it is the Louis Vuitton Nano Blanc. So this bag is, again, classified as a Nano, but I feel like it's far more like a actual functioning mini bag than it is as, what you would imagine when you think of a Nano piece. Right off the bat, you can see that the Blanc is a lot longer than the Speedy. So even though the Speedy is wider, especially as you get to the top of the bag, because the Blanc is so long compared to the Speedy, it makes it so much easier to get your cell phone, to get other things in, and you can just see how large the opening is. So it's so much easier to access your items. And for me, that is reason enough to choose this one over the Speedy. Another thing I like is that the Blanc also comes with this chain that is removable, and it also comes with a strap as well. And so for those reasons, you have added versatility. You can add a different crossbody strap. I just think overall this piece is such a great one. I do have a full review on this one. If you would like to watch it, I'll include it right up here. Now, the only thing I'll note is because the Speedy Nano has been around for a while, especially in its vintage form like this one, you can definitely find this for a far better price. Oh, I will note, these are both the same price on the Louis Vuitton website. They're both $1,920. But you can find this one in its vintage form for, even around $500. So if you're looking for an affordable option, the Speedy is a good choice. But if you're talking strictly on functionality, I would definitely say the Nano Ballon wins in that case. Next, we have the mini pochette, and I will say I do love this piece. It is a very functional piece, but it is not something that I would recommend for someone to purchase at the current retail price on the Louis Vuitton website. I think it's somewhere around $800 now, which I just think is a lot of money for an SLG. Have I spent that much on an SLG? Yes, I have. But again, I think, definitely on the extreme side of things, given I am a collector, I'm also a creator. For the normal person who just wants to buy something from Louis, I don't think this is worth that retail price. So the first set I would recommend as an alternative is the Kirigami Pochette Trio. So this set comes with 3 pieces, and it is also retailing at $810. So you get all 3 of these for the price of one of these. I have talked about this time and time again, and honestly, I would recommend this over a lot of different items that can be offered at Louis. I think this is currently one of the best values that is available. Given you get these 3 versatile pieces, and I have done what's in my bag for this medium Kirigami, and it fits pretty much the exact same amount as the mini pochette. I do think this is a great set, and this makes far more sense, and there's far more functionality and versatility to these than I would say for a single mini pochette. Now again, because this piece has been around for a while, you can find vintage or pre-loved options that are available. They're roughly around like probably $400, $500, $600 at the moment. Now again, I absolutely love this piece, but I also think that there are more and more new options and new sizes of pieces that have been released by Louis, and I think this is a classic. I think most everyone who is a collector has this in their collection, but I will just say that given I use more mini bags, I just don't gravitate towards this one as much. It doesn't fit my cell phone, so it kind of is like not big enough for me to be a mini bag, but it's too big to fit in my mini bags, and so that's more along the reasons for me why I just wouldn't recommend it for someone like myself who likes the bags that I do. If you are looking more for something that is like the mini pochette but is an alternative, I would recommend the bucket pochette. So this piece is bigger than the mini pochette, as you can see, by about an inch. But what helps about that extra inch is that this bucket pochette can easily fit my cell phone. So now I have a bag that's shaped like the mini pochette, which I love, but this actually can be used as a functioning mini bag for like a date night or something, and it can hold my phone and all of my essentials. So I would recommend, if you really do want something like this, getting one like this is, to me, more functional than the mini pochette is. The only drawback about the bucket pochette is it's hard to find. It came as one of those like attachments that was on the vintage, I think it was the bucket PM and GM. So if I do see any, I'll be sure to link them in my description below. And I think this would be a better option personally than the mini pochette. Okay, so next we have the Summer BB. This is a beautiful bag. I will definitely say I fell in love with it because it has all of the vintage vibes of the original Summer line, and it's just in a small BB version, which I love. And it's one of the reasons I did buy it when I had gone to Europe a few years ago. However, I do think I'm going to be letting this one go sometime in the near future just because I really just haven't gravitated towards it. And there's a few reasons why. First of all, it does have untreated vachetta, and I don't have to go into detail about why I struggle with that. I'm always concerned, especially because the vachetta on this bag is really meant to be showcased on it. So if you get a stain, a watermark, an oil mark on it, I feel like it's just very, very noticeable. Some people don't mind. Some people love the character that the vachetta adds and everything, and I totally understand that. But for me, because there's just so much of it, like it even goes down into the back of this bag, I'm always nervous when I'm using it, or I always have to check the weather when I use it, and I just prefer more carefree options. So the bag does come with two straps. It comes with a shoulder strap, which I really like this. I'll probably end up keeping this strap if I sell the bag. And then it has a vachetta strap as well. So I like that aspect of it. But again, this is a full vachetta strap. So it's just all the things that I worry about and then multiply it by however much, because you have to worry about it with the strap as well. But I think my biggest gripe about this piece is the fact that it doesn't hold that much. Like, you would think it would be very spacious. It's not necessarily that small, like especially compared to my nano bags. But I think because it has this buckle strap here, it really is pretty confined to how much, you can really stretch it. And because of the way it's connected right here, it has these extra like divots on the interior, which again affect how much you can fit in that center section of the bag. So it just really doesn't fit that much. And because the interior is this light micro suede, it's susceptible to getting a little dirty. So overall, I mean, I think it's a beautiful piece, and I think for some people this will be a great option to add to their collection. They're not as worried about vachetta, which is great, and in the interior of the bag, they'll get an insert or they're not as concerned. So I think there are people out there that this will be a great option for, but for me, I just am at the point where I've come to realize that if someone were to ask me, I would be listing more of the cons of the bag than I would be going on about the pros. And so that's why I wouldn't recommend it. So one of the bags I would recommend as an alternative is the Louis Vuitton wearable wallet. I feel like this also gives very much the vintage vibes that the Summer BB does, but it has treated vachetta, which I appreciate. So this bag I can wear worry-free. The strap on the that I have here in the interior is also treated. So again, I don't have to worry about it. I can wear it out in whatever weather. It also has a very spacious interior. This one has a pocket, unlike the Summer BB on the interior, and again a darker brown canvas, which I just feel like is easier to manage. So this bag can fit a lot. I think, I haven't done a direct comparison, but I'm fairly certain this bag fits more than the Summer BB, and the opening in it is just easier to use. I just think overall this wearable wallet is just user-friendly, very carefree. I love the camera bag style, and I think it's still that classic vintage look without the fuss that I think the Summer BB has. So if you still like more of the raw vachetta look and you're not into the camera bag style of the wearable wallet, The Neverfull BB, I think, would be the other option of a bag that I would recommend. This one I just think is so cute. It is a great size. I would say out of the wearable wallet and the Samura BB and this one, the Neverfull BB definitely fits the most. It is extremely spacious. It also comes with this little coin purse bag charm as well as a guitar strap. I don't have it. I have it on one of my other bags at the moment, but it comes with a lot of accessories as well. It is roughly the same price as the Samura BB. This one is $2,040. I believe the Samura BB is $2,000 or somewhere in that price range. So I think it is a good, fair alternative. The fact that it has the zipper closure, so you're not having to, worry about your items falling out, and that it just has versatility to it. I just think this is a great piece that still kind of serves the same look and vibe as the Samura BB, but just with more functionality and space. Next we have the Nice Nano. So this is the Nice Vanity in the smallest size. And you guys, this is absolutely adorable. This is such a cute little piece, and I got it strictly for that reason. However, it currently retails on the Louis Vuitton website for, I want to say, over $1,000. And for this little vanity, I think that is a really expensive price. Now, I'm sure people would try and use this as a bag, like an actual crossbody purse. I just don't feel like that is a very viable option on this one, given it doesn't have D-rings. So it's a little harder to jerry-rig it for that purpose. So for me, if I'm using this, I'm using it because I would be, using it for travel, to carry makeup, carry toiletries. But even then, this one is so small. It can fit a good amount, but like when I'm traveling, I just want to be able to have everything I need. And not have to worry about, squishing everything down into this very, very compact size. And also, like, this is very wide. So I feel like it isn't even that convenient for packing anyway. So while I do think this is very cute from a functionality standpoint, if I'm looking for a toiletry bag or a travel bag, I just think there are better options. So the first alternative I'll recommend is this vintage Truce 18. This is one of my favorite travel bags. I do think that it is the perfect size and shape for traveling. And this could just be personal preference, but I like flat rectangular bags because I feel like you can fit a lot inside of them, yet they can still be very flat and easy to pack in any bag, whereas this one, again, is just so wide, this Nice Nano, and I just don't think it's quite as easy to slip into, narrow spots in a carry-on or, in a suitcase. So that is why I like this piece. It does have these like little elastics so you can stand stuff upright. It has this extra pocket here. The interior is wipeable. So it is really, to me, one of my favorite travel bags. And this one you can find for anywhere between, I would say, $250 to $500, depending on the condition of the piece. So I do think this is far more affordable and far more functional than the Nice Vanity. Okay, I don't think I need to go into a lot of detail on this one because I talk about how I hate this bag in like every video, but this is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire, and I'm just not a fan. I am not a fan. I just feel like this is a relatively boring piece. I just don't feel like it really is all that special. I do have the vintage version in its defense, so I think the newer version does come with a chain, and it does have an interior pocket where mine does not. Mine is just kind of that open pochette. I think the newer one has a longer strap as well. My strap is quite short. So I think the vintage version, while it's far more affordable, it's just nothing special. Like, I just did this whole review in my last video on the Coach Plaza 22. That one is basically the exact same size and shape as this one. And it was, I think, like $125 or something. So it's a fraction of the price of today's pochette accessoire, but even a fraction of the price of this vintage version as well. So I don't know, to me, I just feel like there are other more exciting or more functional pieces than this one. But I keep it in my collection to do size comparisons and whatnot. So it's still here in my collection. So many of you will already know the alternative that I would recommend to the PA, and that is my Palace clutch. I think this bag has far more style, far more functionality than this pochette accessoire. So this bag, while it is discontinued, you can find it pretty easily on the resale market. And it comes with this beautiful, substantial feeling gold chain. It has a front pocket that does fit a phone. So with no issues, the phone fits in there. On the interior, I have a strap in here. I have two straps, but it has a pocket on the interior and it has all this space. I always use this bag when I travel. I bring two different straps with me. The one the bag came with, which is this brown one. And then I also bring a black strap just in case I want to, you know, wear an all black outfit. And then boom, I have a bag that I can wear in nearly any situation when I travel. So I just think this is a better option, hands down, full stop. I would definitely recommend this, even over a lot of the current bags offered on the Louis Vuitton website today. And then finally, let's talk about the key pouches. Now, I love this. I would definitely recommend the Louis Vuitton key pouch. I think this is such a handy piece. This is a great entry piece into the Louis Vuitton collection, to try it out, to see if it's something that you love. However, if you made me choose one key pouch from Louis Vuitton, currently available on the Louis Vuitton website, I would pick the key pouch S. So this is the small key pouch. I just think this is one of the most functional, most versatile of the SLGs. I think it's very slim, so it fits in all my mini bags, but it can also fit a lot because of its size. This is like my actual, like, what I carry in it. I've been using it as my daily catch-all. It also comes with a key ring, so it still has the same function of the key pouch, but it can also serve not only as a key pouch, but as, you know, a catch-all bag, a wristlet. It is, again, something I use daily. I don't switch out of it very often because I love it so much. And from a price point, there really isn't a very big difference in price between this key pouch and the key pouch S. So I think this one is just a better value at the minute. Now, again, you can find this one pre-loved and you can find it for substantially less. But if we're talking about, hey, I'm going to the Louis store, I want to buy a new key pouch, I would not recommend this one because it's currently over $300. I would think this one is the far better value. So that wraps up this video, and as always, I just love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Did you agree with my assessment of bags I wouldn't recommend? And do you agree with the ones that I recommended as alternatives? Definitely share. I love chatting with you guys in that comments section. So now a little more detail on this giveaway. Again, this is just a little way that I am trying to be able to share my appreciation for all of your support. I love long form content. It is definitely a labor of love, so I am very, very appreciative of all of the support that you guys provide to me, especially those of you who watch my videos every week and take the time to comment and send love and feedback to me. It really means the world to me. So I wanted to be able to do some giveaways between now and the end of the year, just to again share my thanks to you guys. So this week we have this mini Laneige set. It has 2 mini lip balms as well as their pots, and these ones have caramel chocolate and eggnog as the flavors, so very holiday festive. I'm also including this little pack of minis. So this has a bunch of little empty mini containers for you. I'll include some syringes as well, so you guys can fill these up and make your own minis. And I know I often get asked a lot about where to get these Ziploc bags, so this giveaway will include this full set for you. So in terms of details of how to participate in this giveaway, the last time I did one, I had asked for everybody to put in their Instagram handle. It caused a lot of issues where people's comments weren't showing up. This round, I'm going to change it a little bit. Please ensure that you like and subscribe. Please do not put any contact information in your comment, but instead just note that you would like to participate, that you are in the US, and tell me which bag was your favorite out of the ones that I shared in today's video. Again, I'll include all of those details in the description below as well. So thank you again for watching. If you would like to watch more of my content, I'll include playlists here, and YouTube will also provide their recommended video up here. Otherwise, bye for now.